Welcome to Young People Address the Nation, the youth response to the 2023 State of the Union.
So as a response to the State of the Union, we demand that elected leaders that have the voice in these positions of power make sure that they don't remain complacent, but push farther and farther so that when our generation has the power to actually be 35 years old and run for president, then we can see ourselves reflected in the values that our country upholds.
Any meaningful environmental justice agenda in this administration is going to need to prioritize public safety and divesting from the carceral system.
Protecting public lands is one of the best tools we have to mitigate the effects of climate change.
I really appreciate President Biden talking about our climate resilience, but I think that we should focus on climate prevention.
Corporate greed got us to where we are now. The climate crisis is here, and it's here to stay until our elected representatives stand up to the fossil fuel industry and prioritize their children and grandchildren's lives over profit.
President Biden can use his power to declare a national emergency around the epidemic of gun violence, the #1 leading cause of death for young people.
Encouraging states to apply and increase available funding for community violence prevention and incentivize establishments of gun violence prevention.
Any nation that outspends us on education will ultimately outcompete us.
It's not so funny when we recognize how women currently hold only 17% of major technology jobs.
Abortion is among the synonyms of healthcare and the definition of being a human right. Abortion access impacts us all.
Young adults are 3 to 4 times more likely than any other age group to be uninsured, and a Medicaid expansion will absolutely cover some of those people.
Black people have one of the worst life expectancy rates than any other race, and this is a public health crisis, and there needs to be more done.
But nothing will change if we don't address the role of police in our society and cultural attitudes around policing practices. While this conversation typically centers around Black men, Black women and girls are also subjected to disproportionate police violence, and their voices must be heard and uplifted.
Prejudice and discrimination continue to persist in various forms, and many communities of color still face significant obstacles and inequalities to achieving their full potential.
Tonight, I ask everyone tuning in to join me in finding a way to take action in their community and create the change you want to see. We forget often that the government is made for the people, by the people, and tonight I ask you to hold your representatives accountable.
With only one member of Congress under the age of 30, we need more pathways for meaningful youth engagement on the federal level.
We heard a lot tonight from Biden about finishing the job. We have to remember that we play a very active role in deciding what that job is.
From my younger sister, who recently voted in her first election, to my own university transforming our library into a polling location, I've seen firsthand the difference we make when we all choose to get involved in our civic community.
And there is still so much more that we need to do today and moving forward to actualize these rights for every single American.